All right, guys. Sunday morning. Hopefully, everybody had a wonderful weekend so far. Running a little bit behind. My apologies for that. Was waiting on somebody else for something else, and you know how real life gets in the way every once in a while. So my apologies on that one. Let's run through this real quickly, and wish you guys the best of luck. Right up will be out at the normal time. This is a members only video, free to the public, of course. As far as weather goes today, St. Louis, Chicago is yellow-orange per Kevin Roth on the Roto Grinders site. Winds blowing in today, which for me is probably more important since it sounds like the rain won't be an issue. But Cleveland, Kansas City seems like it's a legit chance that there might be some rain issues there. So double check on that bad boy, and we will go from there. As far as pitching goes today, I will make this concise as possible. The pitchers in my pitching pool are going to be my boy Brandon Woodruff against Cincinnati today. Big start for Milwaukee, dropping 2 in a row. This is where your best pitcher, your stopper, comes in. Woodruff has been nothing short of sensational all season long. I think he's your top overall pitcher on this one. Dylan Cease, Robbie Ray, Rich Hill, Chris Bassett. I can make the best argument for Bassett. Probably not going to be where I end up. I don't think Ian Anderson is a bad play. Again, probably not where I'm going to end up. You know, we didn't stack enough Dodgers last night, but we did some alternative pitching options yesterday that worked out well. I like the chalk pitchers more today, but if I were to roll with a kind of like a contrarian pitcher, that's probably not going to get a lot of love today. Check out Nick Pivetta. Now, his game log is funny because it kind of screams to who this guy can be. He's all over the board. He got decent strikeout stuff. He's going up against his old mates right now, which, you know, take that for something, nothing, depends what you want to make out of it. I don't make a ton out of it, but some people do. Agree to disagree, doesn't really matter how you want to view that one. That's completely up to you. Philly will strike out plenty. They're also going to be one of the chalkier offenses on this slate. So you get a little bit of leverage if you throw him out there and he balls like he has in 2 of his last 3 starts. However, far from a must, low owned, more of a GPP play. Next up, the guy right below him is going to get significantly more love, and, you know, deservedly so. You got Jose Barrios. Again, has not been the highest like DFS upside guy the last couple seasons, really pitched more to contact, but we've seen really good strikeout stuff out of him for the most part lately, outside of the exception of the game at Chicago to start the month where he just was bad. He wasn't his normal self. He's got 10, 9, 8 strikeouts in 3 of his last 5. The Tigers have slipped a little bit the last couple days. I think Barrios is a good look in any format. Castillo below him. Give me Barrios. It's close, though. I think Castillo will be a lot lower owned. And then the second most popular pitcher on the slate appears to be Pablo Lopez. So the baseball community took some tough news yesterday, right? The fact that Ronald Acuna is going to be out, you know, one of the most exciting players in the game, is going to be out for the foreseeable future, for the rest of this year and probably starting next year. That sucks, right? Like, he's just a blast to watch. But now you got an Atlanta lineup that continues to be more and more watered down. No Acuna, no Darno, no Azuña. Not very good. You got Pablo Lopez at home, only 7,300. He's been fantastic. He got tossed after 1 pitch in this game previously. I think the Pablo Lopez, Brandon Woodruff pairing is your chalk pairing, and it makes a lot of sense. So the 3 most popular pitchers appear to be Woodruff, Barrios, and Pablo Lopez. Start whoever you want to start. If you want to go Barrios and Pablo Lopez and skip Woodruff for more, you know, upper tier guys, that's definitely a build I'm on board with. Makes a lot of sense to me. I think the 3 popular pitchers today, though, are probably the better pitchers and where I want to end up. Yesterday, we liked more contrarian, pitchers, and that worked. Today, we like the chalk guys. Slate dependent. All right, next up, moving along, as far as offense goes, there's 4 offenses that appear to be getting decent love today. The Chicago White Sox, who we'll break down here in a second. The Philadelphia Phillies. For me, that's a little bit more of a recency bias, and price is why they're getting some love. After that, I do think you are going to see the Minnesota Bats with some love, and that one makes sense, guys. They are in a good spot and very, very affordable. So actually, it's 3 offenses getting the majority of their love. So let's start back from the beginning and talk about the Chicago White Sox. So they are big bucks, like big money. I'm talking like Abreu, Tim Anderson, even Goodwin hitting in the cleanup spot is 4,400. Mancada. They all appear to be coming in with heavy ownership. So Tim Anderson has been playing good baseball lately. So I definitely understand why you want to use him. 6K is a big price tag. And just, you know, hypothetically, even if you go with like the Pablo Lopez Barrios build, you got 43-37 per offensive guy. So let's just pretend we're going to mess around with this one. You throw Tim Anderson and Moncada in there and just make sure you love them. They are big money. I mean, to even use the stack of Abreu, Moncada, Anderson really limits your flexibility moving forward. So I probably won't be full up on the Chicago White Sox, but of course they obviously make a lot of sense and expect them to be relatively popular. I think, to me, one of the contrarian stacks that I have a little interest today is going to be the Baltimore Orioles. We know they're not a great team. And we know Dylan Cease is better than the Baltimore Orioles. However, Cease is a little prone to giving up some power. He's got a couple of less than stellar starts lately where you can see the potential upside. I mean, put it this way, in his last 9 starts, he's given up 5 earned runs or more 4 times. So he can be gotten to. And you got really cheap pieces right here. Mullins, Hayes, Santander. I mean, these are not great players, but everybody outside of Mancini, and even Mancini's pretty affordable, is real cheap. So maybe if you love this game, you get some cheap Orioles and pair them with the White Sox. Next up, Atlanta against Miami. This game's all about the pitchers. No thank you to the offenses. All right, after that, we got Pittsburgh against the Mets. For my money, if you want to get a little different with it today, let's go after the offenses in this game. Both of the pitchers going are not great. And these two teams appear to be getting kind of lost, which is something I understand. The Mets and the Pirates are 2 of the worst offenses in baseball. So anytime you want to go balls to the wall in a game with 2 bad offenses, you know you're putting yourself at risk a little bit right here. However, the pitchers aren't also good. So this game is a little bit of a wild card. And guys like VR, who's had a nice run lately, Lindor, who's, had his moments, Pete Alonso's been home run friendly, Brian Reynolds, who's having a tremendous season under the radar so far. I brought him up a lot lately. Nimmo, Dom Smith. These guys are all very affordable. I know Conforto is not having a good year, but if he were to be in the starting lineup today, he is super cheap, and we know he's better than this. And actually, oh my God, love this. Conforto walked 3 times yesterday. We talk about this all the time. Big buying sign. I just fell in love with Michael Conforto today at 3,300. So I think this is the game. If you're trying to go low on, check it out. From Philly, Harper, Miller, if he makes the lineup, Segura, these guys will all be popular. Real Muto is projected to be real popular, but I don't know if he'll be that popular just because his price tag is now way up. So I don't think he's a bad play. I just don't think I prioritize him at that money. Toronto versus Tampa, Ray versus Hill. Robbie Ray is an upside play today, but not a top pitcher for me. Mostly I'm looking at pitchers in this game. Cleveland, Kansas City's another one. Got a couple of less than stellar pitchers going right here. Problem is for me, like Kansas City, no Perez, no Carlos Santana. They appear to be kind of punting this game, which means most of the hitters here just aren't very good. You do, however, get cheap pieces. And if you want to go White Sox heavy, you can load up on outfielders from this game. You got 5 outfielders, 3K and less, 6 outfielders. So that's the way I take a look at this one. It's not my favorite. Watch the weather, but there is that. Cincy versus Milwaukee, Woodruff against Castillo. That's all about the offense, or pitchers, not the offense. Yankees against Houston. Great game by Cole last night. I liked a couple of Astros as a little bit of a contrarian build against a struggling Cole. He was awesome. He was right. I was wrong. Tyon on the hill today for the Yankees. I'm on board with all lefty bats from Houston. Is kind of another little bit of a contrarian play. That would be Michael Brantley, Kyle Tucker, and Yordan Alvarez. Next up, Detroit against Minnesota. Not interested in the Detroit bats, but as far as Minnesota goes, I think you can expect like Kirilloff, Kepler, Larnach, Arias. Minnesota's going to be popular today for good reason. They're in a good spot. I think Polanco is very affordable, especially in cash games. Give a real good look to Minnesota. Another possible contrarian team is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. If the wind wasn't blowing in today in Chicago, I would kind of like this one. Williams has had his struggles. I like the fact that they're going to be very low owned. I probably don't end up here. I think I like the idea of the Mets and Pirates better. And the last game is going to be Kobe Allard versus Chris Bassett. Not really interested in the offenses from this game. A little interested in Bassett, but he's probably not going to be my guy. If I run a 3-entry max today, I will probably just mix and match Barrios, Lopez, and Brandon Woodruff. I am totally good with the chalk pitchers today. Didn't like the chalk pitchers yesterday. I do like them today. Hence the term slate dependent. That's what we got for today, guys. Best of luck, and I will see you guys after the All-Star break.